Hey, it's Derek, and this is Loyalty Lion in 5 minutes or less. Let's go. What is it? Loyalty Lion is one of the leading and fastest growing points or credit-based retention and loyalty tools in the e-commerce ecosystem. You install their app onto a page of your site or dynamically code it in for the more advanced. Users log in, earn points, unlock rewards, and depending on your setup, they might get discounts, get free products, or you could even place a donation in the customer's name. And there are many other options of providing additional value. They have a stripped back version that is not much more than a customized referral tool, but the heart of the value comes from the flexibility and functionality of their rewards program, which you can set up with some default actions or tinker to your heart's desire. Competitive landscape. Loyalty tools are one of those categories where it really will take some time on your part to find the right tool that fits with your store. The key differences lie in checkout and purchase functionality, the ability to add points and tiers based on certain actions like social actions and purchase behavior, and integration so that you can send those points or into other partners or take actions from other partners and trigger point rewards. Loyalty Lion is a bit of an upmarket solution in a reasonably crowded marketplace. The industry leader in the space right now is called Smile.io. The other major player in the space is Swell, which is now a company owned by Yotpo. You also have Bold Loyalty, Zinrello, S Loyalty, and many others that you'll find in the Shopify app store. Biggest differentiator. Loyalty Lion has some really great functionalities. First, I really like that they are designing everything to make it easier for marketers to show their bosses big wins. As a marketer myself, I know how important this can be. They have an automated segmentation strategy that places your customers into one of 3 buckets: loyal customers, at-risk customers, and win-backs. They can push tags with those names on them to Shopify and your email service provider, thus triggering email campaigns and moving people to the stage of the funnel that you desire. Their instant points rewards at checkout tool is very nifty. You're likely to increase conversion rate when you get rewarded instantly, and it's important that the points change on the cart page when you change your spend. Very shortly, they'll be releasing some new features that allow you to A/B test on-site loyalty notifications. This will validate the increased lift in average order value and conversion rate for given reward points and make it easier to balance between more revenue and more profit, which is really what we're after anyways, right? They also give you a recommendation board that helps automatically assess your existing setup and provide some recommendations that could improve your performance. And I really like that they do not require you to issue gift cards or discount codes at checkout in order for users to redeem your point system. That is one of the drawbacks of other loyalty programs. Metric impact. Loyalty apps help improve retention, which is repeat purchases. Lifetime value naturally goes up from there. And average order value should go up from here as well. Loyalty Lion provides a really clean insights dashboard to show the numbers between their 4 key customer segments. Those are non-members, members, non-redeeming members, those who have not spent a point, and redeeming members. Bottom line. Loyalty Lion is a fast-growing loyalty startup with robust functionality, tons of integrations, and clearly providing a lot of value. They care about your program's success, and they are building towards the future of retention marketing. When should you use it? If you're serious about your store and you're building a digitally native vertical brand, that is a company that will only succeed if you keep your customers coming back, which, by the way, is the best choice if you're starting an e-commerce store today. Then you'll really need a robust loyalty program, and Loyalty Lion may be the solution for you. We see loyalty programs work really well in industries like health, wellness, beauty, and fashion, but they also work well in industries where you'd expect repeat and frequent purchases, such as subscription boxes and replenishable goods. When shouldn't you use it? You don't really need a loyalty tool if you have pass-through customers. Customers that only need your product once and then really don't buy from you for a number of years, or you have a shitty brand or no market position, etc. You also should attempt to have some form of product market fit before investing in loyalty. And I know I said that you could have a loyalty tool from day one, but if you don't have a proven sales funnel, you should get that first and then move into other and more important things. Integrations. Loyalty Lion integrates with Shopify, Shopify Plus, including Flow, Shopify Liquid, which allows for modification of the checkout and cart pages, which not all loyalty programs can do, and Shopify POS for in-store loyalty programs. And I think that's absolutely huge. If you are using Shopify POS, you are going to want to train your sales reps to recruit customers into the loyalty program, asking simply for their email address, and then the rest takes care of itself online. Other e-commerce platforms that they offer include Magento and BigCommerce, and any custom API integration that you may need. They also integrate with LimeSpot for product recommendations, Klaviyo, MailChimp, HubSpot, or OmniSend for email marketing, Gorgeous or Zendesk for help desks, JudgeMe, Okendo, Looks, Stamped, Trustpilot, or verified reviews for tying reviews back to loyalty points. This is very important. Recharge for loyalties tied back to subscriptions, also very important if you have a subscription box or something like that. And there are many, many other integrations. Pricing. There is a free option, but you'd never choose Loyalty Line for their free plan alone. You'd only choose the free plan with the conscious decision that you are going to upgrade the program as your store grows. They bill based on the total number of orders, which is different than some other tools, which bill based on program members, customers, transactions, or feature sets. Their small business plan starts at $159 a month and allows for 800 orders a month. The classic level is $399 and gets you a dedicated rep, onboarding, and quarterly calls with their loyalty experts. Once you reach the advanced tier at between 2,000 and 4,000 orders a month, you gain access to their instant points and in-cart rewards, which are those super slick conversion optimization and retention tools I talked about earlier. And then the pricing goes up to enterprise from there. Setup time and resources. Depends really on your ambitions and scope. The store can be launched within 24 hours with basically a turnkey solution and very little customization. If you want to spend more time customizing, which I do recommend, you may bring in a designer and a developer to create a custom page for the program to live on, and you want to tinker with your tiers and loyalty program, names, features, products you're giving away, and stuff like that. So that might involve coordinating with operations and other departments in order to get the answers you need to make the choice. If you've got the classic plan or above, you will work with your onboarding manager to get the program set up over 1 week to 1 month, depending on the requirements. Usually the person managing the tool is the head of marketing or head of e-commerce. They should expect to check in bi-weekly to monthly. You may also alter the program based on new inventory, expiring products, out of stock products, and how you want to tinker with your margins and your profit or seasonality. Sometimes the CTO is also involved in using this tool for any of the technical implementation that may be required. This is mostly only for setup and not for maintaining the program. Final thoughts. Loyalty and retention are the winning factors to a fast-growing brand. Loyalty Lion offers a mid-tier to enterprise solution for serious e-commerce brands looking to strengthen their connection with their customer. They are fast-growing and fast-changing, releasing new features and integrations regularly. This is a company that I'd bet on if I could bet on them. That's Loyalty Lion in 5 minutes or less. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If Loyalty Lion interests you, please email me, Derek, at ecommercetech.io. There should be a link or an email somewhere around here, or maybe a button to book a tech consultation with me there. And I'll be able to introduce you to their team directly and get you moving in the right direction. You can also just book a tech stack consultation with me, and I can help you determine which loyalty tool might be right for you or how this tool fits into the rest of your existing tool stack. If you want to see the entire demo that I did with the Loyalty Lion team, keep watching. Tell me a little bit about Loyalty Lion and what you love.
Awesome. Yeah, so we are a points-based system and have been a Shopify Plus partner for quite some time now. We were actually the first Shopify Plus customer retention partner in the space. We don't just stop there, so we are a Shopify app. We also work with Magento and BigCommerce, so we're available on those platforms. It's also possible to install Loyalty Line on any custom store. I would say our functionality and presence is biggest on the Shopify platform. So big events that are coming up soon obviously include Shopify Unite. We were heavily featured last year at the 2018 conference, specifically with new features like Flow. Definitely what I love about Loyalty Line is the innovation that really comes as part of it. Just a fast-growing tech company for sure.
I love it. That's awesome. And that's what I'm excited to see today, because I want to know those unique differentiating features, like if there's a Flow integration. So you're saying like you're manipulating points with Flow based on certain rules and conditions that apply maybe for after checkout or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So you can set up several triggers and actions for flow. There's a lot that we provide in the back end as well. So we tell you, for example, which customers are loyal, which are at risk of churn, and which you want to be winning back. So if a customer moves from the loyal category to the at risk, you can set up a flow. So the trigger would be, we've recognized that they've moved from loyal to at risk. And then the action might be send them a win back sequence within Klaviyo or any other ESP. You could maybe bump them up a tier or give them a few extra bonus points. There's a lot you can do, specifically with the integration. So we integrate with a variety of apps in the ecosystem. So it doesn't just stop at ESPs, it's also review platforms. We integrate with LimeSpot, so that's a product recommendations app, allowing you to display a number of bonus points, allowing you to improve your cross-selling and upselling. We also integrate with several help desks, so Gorgeous and Zendesk, just meaning that your tech stack is more fully integrated, so you can view customer loyalty profiles within those backends as well.
I love it. And I do think that's something that people are missing. We can create a loyalty program, but and reward people for being loyal, but people forget that, like, yeah, some people kind of fall off that wagon essentially. And it's really powerful to have those re-engagement sequences. I've seen those make companies millions of dollars in the past. Some of the best potential customers are lying right there in that. And so if we can re-engage people, especially before they fully drop off, or maybe they unsubscribe from our monthly subscription or something like that, that can be a huge difference in bottom line, in lifetime value, and in all the metrics we care about. So I love it.
For sure. And one of the most exciting / interesting things for me when I do demos is when prospective clients get super psyched out that Loyalty Line integrates with their existing tech stack. So when you think of customer loyalty, you think of a whole different side of your business, when in actual fact, customer retention and acquisition is something you should be focusing on from day one. And it's great that we, integrate with ESPs that companies are already using. So I think Loyalty Line slides in really nicely to the overall strategy. And yeah, it isn't as much of a headache as people think it might be to set up.
Okay, so let's dive into that briefly, because I have been telling people you need retention from day one, because so many people are thinking, okay, we just need to acquire customers, and a customer passes through and is gone, and they don't think about loyalty till they got 100 or 500 customers or something like that. And you go, well, those customers could have done so much more if you had that loyalty program set up from the beginning. So
for sure.
So let's tackle the objection of setting it up from the beginning really quick. I'm a new store. I don't have time for it. It's too expensive. I don't have enough customers to make it worth it. How do you justify it?
I always ask them to put themselves in a customer's position. So imagine you just found this really cool Shopify website. You're really excited to be one of the first customers. You think it's a really well kept secret. How pissed off or kind of downhearted would you be if they introduced a loyalty program in a year's time and you weren't rewarded for all of that past loyalty? If you're one of the very first ones, you want to have that extra status almost. So that's where the tiers come in. Encouraging customers to create more of a brand community around different websites, rather than just for it to be more of a transactional process, which it can often boil down to when you think of points, money off vouchers and things like that. I often encourage brands to think about how they can treat the loyalty program as a user experience.
Awesome, I love it, and I want to get into the platform before you. But before I do, you brought up an interesting point. It's like it's not about the money back, and I think what you're hinting at is that you need to build a digitally native vertical brand, not another pass through drop shipping site, because that's that's a tough business to be in versus a great and expanding business and verticals that we're seeing all these brands pop up in. But what do you think about, instead of giving like money off and discounts, we're giving like merchandise or additional product or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. So I call them experiential rewards or more intangible gifts. So it's definitely something that I see coming up more often. So things like early access to sale, you could do permanent free shipping. Some really cool rewards that I've seen are actually donations to charitable causes, which is awesome. You're making purchases and racking up points, but rather than spending those points on yourself, you could plant a tree in Africa, which is super cool.
That is awesome. And that, yeah, that ties right back into the brand. So if that's part of the brand, it makes a lot of sense to incorporate. And obviously it's good for the world to we don't just have to
Yeah,
buy more stuff. We can make a difference. So I love it.
yeah.
So yeah, show me if you can. Just show me what Loyalty Lion looks like.
Mhm.
Maybe how I set up my first campaign, or how you set up milestones, or other ways that people earn points and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to take you through the customer side of things. I pulled up quite a few examples and then actually have a slideshow to talk you through features and more of the back end stuff.
Okay, perfect.
Great. So I'm just going to share my screen and let me know when you can see my first example is Esquido lashes.
Yes, I know Esquito.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Are you a personal fan?
Well, I worked for a beauty box subscription company, so we know lashes very well. I've sold
Okay, nice.
millions of eyelashes.
Are you aware of Velour as well? And Lashify?
uh, Lashify, yes.
Okay. So big tick, Velour and Lashify are also loyalty line clients as well. It's a shame that my demo isn't just going to be Lash clients, but great that we have this one to start off with.
That is funny. So you've conquered the lash sub industry.
I like to think so, at least.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Esquido Lashes is a great example of a full service loyalty program. So they have a lot of rules and rewards set up, which is a great example to show. So they've got the rewards at the top here, and it brings me to this static landing page, which nicely outlines the program here. So a variety of ways of earning points, fairly standard options, which I'm sure you're aware of. And then in terms of rewards, they pretty much just have the transactional ones that we were talking about. So free products to accompany at the product range, as well as the money off voucher. So it prompts me to just log in. So we piggyback onto the account creation system, meaning that all existing users can just log back in. And once Loyalty Line is installed, depending on where the UI is, customers can just click to access their rewards. So just clicking on that to show you. And this is the loyalty panel, which has been embedded onto this page. So I can click to redeem these different rewards, for example, and just jumping back to the earning points page. So I can click to save my birthday and I'll get points every time. So the birthday field is one of the fields that we push over to all of the ESPs. We actually push over a total of 12 different fields, allowing you to personalize and segment your newsletters. So you might want to put this in a campaign close to the customer's birthday to remind them that they'll get points, and also include some information about new product launches, for example.
I'm sure you get asked this question as you go through this. What if
Sure.
somebody wants to cheat me on the point system? Like they make their birthday tomorrow, then they make it the next day, then they make it the next day.
Yeah, so once the birthday is saved, they can't edit it without actually messaging Esquido support, for example. And we actually only give points within a certain time frame. So I believe it's a month. So if it's the 5th of June today, I believe, or the 4th. I know it's the 4th because it's my friend's birthday. So if I set it for, say, the 5th of June, I'm not going to get points. It has to have that 1 month leeway.
So it'll go next year you'll get points. And so that
Exactly.
person will be like, ah, shucks, I didn't game the system, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I love it.
So on to the customer acquisition side of things. So it's a give and get system where both parties are rewarded for the action. And we are mobile optimized. That's why we have that WhatsApp and Facebook message integration. So customers can share in these 5 ways, or they can copy and paste their own referral URL and share it anywhere else. Again, this is one of the other fields that we have that we push over to the ESPs. So it means that customers can just go to their latest correspondence with the brand and share with their friends directly from that newsletter.
This is awesome. And you're tracking all of these link clicks and referrals back so we can see the effectiveness of this page as a whole on our business, I suppose.
Exactly. So we track number of visits as well as revenue generated and new customers as well.
That was going to be my question. Yeah. So we can see, so in the back end, we'll see later that we can see the revenue generated from the referral component of the tool.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
huge. That's, yeah, awesome.
So onto the tiers tool. So this is a fairly basic setup of tiers. It allows you to set up a completely different set of rules and rewards dependent on different thresholds. So in this example, we've got money spent. You could do more custom tiers, maybe based on points earned. You can also do more manual actions. So you can set up, for example, a wholesaler tier. This is based on Shopify tags. So as long as all the customers in that specific tier are tagged in a certain way, you can set that up. With our integration with Recharge, you can set up a subscriber tier, meaning that someone who subscribes to a single product will automatically gain a completely different set of rules and rewards.
Awesome.
And just to finish off with this example, we have the account history. So I, as a customer, who can just see how my points balance has changed over time. And this is a handy FAQ. So you'll notice that this is the embedded panel version. So it's an iframe that can be edited using CSS. So this is, although I do think it looks pretty attractive, it's quite a low-level example of loyalty line. I will show you what we call our integrated loyalty page in a few moments' time. So hold that thought. What
Okay.
I did just want to show you now is another example of tiers. So we have 100% Pure, it's a cosmetics brand. I really like the permanent tier benefits that they have set up. So as part of our ongoing great relationship with Shopify Plus, we integrate with a lot of their unique features. So for example, Shopify Scripts allows you to give permanent tier benefits, again, based on that tagging. So for example, it's based on money spent again, but in the higher tier, I can get free upgraded shipping. So regardless of how big my basket size is, because I do have that higher tier status, I have that reward permanently unlocked. And then again, early access to newly launched products and toll-free priority customer service. And you'll notice 100% Pure are using Zendesk as well, so they're taking advantage of our integration. So I know that we've focused pretty much just online, but I did want to flag that we integrate with Shopify POS. So 100% Pure are actually using Loyalty Line across their 12 physical locations as well. So it's a great example of an omni-channel loyalty program, bridging together that online experience with that offline shopping as well.
When I'm at the point of sale, am I giving my email address to get logged into the loyalty program, and then it brings me online to do the rest?
Yep, so the cashier rep will just ask for the email address, and the loyalty line and Shopify ID will just be picked up there automatically.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So at checkout, you train your cashier, your sales reps. You say, ask them if they'd like to join the loyalty program, and tell them the perk that they'll get for joining the loyalty program. And then some percentage of people will do that. They'll be opted in, and then they can be kind of marketed to get them back to the site to repeat purchase, get them back to the store to repeat purchase, etc.
Exactly. I just did want to mention this is quite a high level thing. So Loyalty Line actually has a multi-link feature which allows you to connect different Shopify stores. So it depends on each merchant's own setup, but in some instances they might have, for example, 12 completely different Shopify accounts. We can link them all together under one program. In other cases, they might just have one account but 12 sites attached to it. Obviously, that's a little bit easier. Either example, Loyalty Line can work with. So it doesn't matter if a customer shops online, whether they go to store A or to store B, we can track those purchases as well as those reward redemptions.
What's kind of the benefit of having it like multi-store? Is this mostly regional or?
Sure, I can't really answer that question myself. It's just really dependent on the merchant's own setup. But I know that we've come across the two different types often, and we can tick both off.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of merchants that have, a half dozen stores as well as their online store, and they're like, okay, how are we going to make this cohesive? So I think
Yeah,
this is the way.
yeah, exactly. So showing you more examples of customization now, we have Manuka Doctor, so it's a UK skincare brand. I just wanted to show an example of more of a stripped back solution. So often clients will come to us thinking, this ties back to what we were saying before about customer acquisition and referrals. This is what jumps to mind when it comes to marketing strategies rather than the retention side of things. Obviously, it's my job to encourage clients that retention is important, but often they might decide they just want a stripped back solution. This may be because they have quite a high price point and they're not wanting to do more of a in your face loyalty program. So this is why they might go for the stripped back version. So I just wanted to show you how flexible Loyalty Line can be. So we have the referrals tool here. So it's the same that you saw before, these 5 ways of sharing, as well as this unique referral link, but it just cuts out all of the noise that you saw, so you don't have to have the full set of rules and rewards. It can look very clean and simple. You'll notice that rather than calling it points, they've got a credit-based system. And the reason that they can do this is, let me just check out for you. Oh, I need to agree to the terms. So we integrate with Shopify's checkout.liquid feature, meaning we can completely customize the checkout experience. So you'll notice with the redeem credit, I can just drag and drop to choose how much I want to get off for my order.
So we don't even have to create like a coupon code that has to be input here or is even automatically input. It's like actually built into the checkout.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just an example of, it is still a loyalty program, they're still using Loyalty Line, but it's a different way of approaching it. Often clients come to us with a very specific idea of what they want the program to look like, and we can facilitate those needs as a result of our flexibility. Cool. So I just wanted to show you Taylor Stitch as another example of a high price point brand. So this is a US clothing retailer. I mean, I really like their clothes, but they're pretty pricey. I think you could get a shirt from there for like over $150. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, they've got the Common Club, again, centered around community. It's called a credit system as well. So with each purchase, you can earn credit to use on your future purchases. It's within the account section. And again, it's just referring friends to give you credit. And they have the same setup that you saw with Manuka, just using this slider here. Cool. So any questions so far?
No, I love it. It looks great.
Okay.
I'd love to see a little bit more maybe of the back end and
Mhm.
the revenue stats if we can. Those
Okay.
kinds of things, or maybe it's the presentation that has some screenshots of that.
Yeah, I'll show you the presentation for sure. Just a couple more features that I wanted to show you on the front end. So I wanted to show you more stylized examples of Loyalty Line. So we have Dr. Axe. This is a subscription-based company. They just have free products as their rewards. And you'll notice rather than being stuck to the iframe, they have all the rules and rewards here in their own boxes that I can click on. So again, I can hit save on my birthday. And if I just go to my cart now, two particular features that I wanted to show you. So the first is pretty self-explanatory. It's called in-cart rewards. Essentially, you can access your rewards in the cart. So I can just click to add points straight away. And again, it bypasses the need for voucher codes. I can just add it. You can see my points balance has reduced, and I now have that multi-collagen protein bar reward added. The
This is
second
awesome.
is, yeah, I really like how seamless Dr. Axe's setup can be. The second feature is instant points. So we built this because clients were coming to us to say that a loyalty program can be really exciting for their customers, but they're really lacking that instant gratification. It's kind of annoying to have to wait for your next purchase in order to spend those points, right? So that's why we have the instant points feature. So to show you that, we have just 293 points here. So make a mental note of that figure. And as I increase my basket size, you can see that immediately jumps to 374 points. So it just encourages an uplift of AOV and allows me to unlock better rewards within the same purchase.
To take that even a step further, could I in that box say, if you spend an extra $48, you'll move into a 3% multiplier tier for rewards or something like that?
So yeah, that's definitely an interesting idea. We don't have that functionality yet, but I can imagine it's something that you could look into with Shopify scripts, for example.
Yeah.
So that's how they've done the free shipping. So when I remove, oh, that's weird. I've qualified for free shipping regardless. But typically, DocTrax has a setup that as you increase basket size, you're like, oh, $40 away from free shipping, and so on.
Gotcha. So yeah, just doing the same kind of thing for rewards.
Yeah.
Both incentive, yeah. That average order value incentive is huge, and the fact that this is being changed dynamically means like, okay, I can view those rewards. I can add free products. I'm going to go buy this. I'm going to get 3 more products that I can put in my cart. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, for sure. And so that is kind of the main show-stopping pieces that I wanted to show you. So I hope this last bit isn't too much of an anticlimax, but I just wanted to, again, reiterate how far you can go with customization. I hope you can see with the many examples that I've shown you that the setup is quite different. So we have Lucy and Yak here. So this is another fashion and apparel brand. So they have a fully integrated loyalty page. So again, I'll just click on the birthday. So rather than being restricted to a panel, they've completely blown up the rules and rewards, and you can put them anywhere and arrange them however you'd like onto a page. They have the vouchers here. I can just click to redeem once I have enough points. And then, do you see how this is different from the Esquido example? Rather than having to flick through different tabs, it's all spread out onto a page and very
The
visual.
tabs are like you could have the tabs up and running in a few minutes, but this is definitely, they had to do some custom work here to get this done.
Exactly. So I've got my tiers information. I can see what I need to do to increase my tier value, and also the account history, which we've got here as well. Cool. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to show you on the customer side. Let me just bring up the presentation. I'm going to stop the share for a moment. So yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts so far. That's something I typically ask merchants, but yeah, I'm also keen to get your opinion too.
I like it a lot. I am curious when we get into pricing how some of those things might change based on, like you talked about the stripped back version versus maybe the full-fledged version. So that's one thing. And we talked a bit about using tags and kind of personalizing the loyalty program based on certain criteria. So one group of people might see one thing, one might see another. So yeah, seeing how that actually works from a cost standpoint, and then understanding, obviously there's a lot of flexibility in what we do. So it's like, what's the minimum time commitment to get this up and running and monitor and improve it? And then what's like the maximum time commitment? Because I think those things I think depend directly on the stage that the store is in themselves. You kind of get out of it what you put into it. And some people might have, an hour a week, and some people might have a dedicated person.
Yeah, for sure. So a question that we get asked a lot is, how long will it take to set up the program? And as you can imagine, it's a super tricky one to answer. Firstly, it depends on ambitions and scope, like you said, so how much they can put into it. So I've seen stores launch within less than 24 hours. If they just want to use the turnkey solution, so not doing any customization, using a widget and pop-up version, using our default icons, for example, you could do that very quickly. The examples that I've shown you are more customized. And yeah, I guess would depend on the team as to how long it would take. It's super hard to answer, obviously, if someone has a very clear vision and they're pretty far down the road with decision making, then the implementation can be very quick. From our side, there's obviously no blockers. Once you have access to the software, you can, like, the sky's the limit. You can pretty much run away with it. Again, it just depends on the team.
Completely. That's great though. But I think knowing that it can be set up within 24 hours is important.
Okay.
So is there, there must be maybe some customer success managers that are helping people through the more complicated components of an advanced setup. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we talk about pricing, I'll tell you that in more detail. But essentially, anyone on the classic plan or above, they have a dedicated point of contact. So it is that exact customer success manager. So they'll take you through onboarding. So they'll give you advice as to what rules and rewards might work best. So they'll look at your existing data to determine where you might need to focus your efforts. Obviously, retention is the most value add, but specifically, what group of customers do you need to target the most? How is your AOV looking? What's your existing repeat purchase rate? These are all questions that I ask on the demo just to get clients thinking about it. They often don't have the answers for me straight away, but hopefully by the time they get onto that onboarding call, they have a very clear idea of what they're looking to achieve with the program.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. One thing really quick on the front. Who's usually the person that you're talking to? Is it the head of marketing?
Mhm. So it will usually be someone in the digital marketing team or e-commerce. So yeah, either of those two departments. Sometimes it will be CTO or someone more technical. So they'll be asking the tricky questions about implementation, SDK, and design. I'll do my best to answer those questions. But from my side, it's yeah, typically marketing and e-commerce. Cool. So I pulled up the presentation for you now. You'll notice that data-driven is a key word. So that comes alongside the customer success manager, the advice that we aim to provide. We want to be making key decisions based on clients' data. So as we go through, hopefully you'll see that. So this is our mission statement: to save you time and help you focus where you can make the biggest impact. So this is what I was alluding to before. So a key feature that we've recently come out with is the campaigns tool. So the terminology could be a little confusing. So I don't know if you've spoken with other loyalty providers so far. They call anything a campaign, like a rules or rewards, like a campaigns feature, right? This is something completely separate. This is new venture into loyalty. So essentially, we allow you to A/B test your customer base with on-site notifications. So the first phase of the campaigns tool is already launched. So we've called this the AOV bonus points campaign. Essentially, we split your customers into two main groups. So we have a control group who we do nothing with, and then we have a test group who are shown a notification that if they spend over your AOV, so we pull your AOV from your existing customer data already, so we provide that for you. You just need to assign the number of bonus points within the campaign. And then what the customer sees is a pop-up which you've designed and messaged. If they spend over the AOV, they get bonus points. And yeah, you can clearly see in the back end the uplift of AOV that's been achieved as a result of this A/B testing. So this is the first phase of the campaigns tool. Future campaigns that we are working on. Firstly, one, to encourage guests to actually become members. We have the data to back it up that when customers enroll into the loyalty program and when they're redeeming, there is an uplift of AOV anyway, as well as increased repeat purchase, and the overall value of that customer is obviously increased. The second campaign that we're launching is to encourage those reviewers to actually become referrers. So if someone's left a positive review, we can track that and then send out a notification that if they refer their friends, they'll get a certain number of points. And then the third campaign is a post-purchase pop-up, encouraging those customers who have just made a purchase to go ahead and refer their friends as well. So in terms of the logistics of how these three campaigns are going to work. I can't fully divulge that, partly because our developers are working on it in the moment. I don't even know myself, but it will be released in the next couple of weeks, so definitely watch this space.
That's exciting. I think A/B testing is often underrated in a situation like this. Some people would just say, "No, turn on the loyalty program for everyone." We don't need to prove that it lifts, AOV or something like that. And in some cases, it could be true, but I think what you can do after A/B testing. One scenario proving points work is you could test different points amounts because you are balancing average order value as well as margin in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
And we really need to get the right mix. It's a pricing discount mix in order to maximize profit, which is typically what most stores should be maximizing. But a lot of times they give up profit for revenue in some cases. And so this allows the justification of the point amounts. And I could see, Loyalty Lion campaign stage 2 or stage 3 has a machine learning algorithm that calculates the points value for you. You don't even have to do it anymore. It just tests like 18 different options and then says, nope, this is the one that maximizes profit based on these numbers you plugged into the back end of your cost of goods sold, your shipping costs, your logistics costs, your pick and pack costs, like everything. So that's really cool.
Totally. And becoming more of a loyalty engine, so making those smart decisions for clients, is something that we're tending ourselves towards. That's not to say we don't want to have that personal touch. So we'll still keep the customer success manager model. We think it's great that clients can pick up the phone and arrange onboarding, but also quarterly advice calls. That's something that I don't think we'll ever get rid of and you can't really replace, but definitely the A/B testing and the loyalty engine side of things, making those smart recommendations, is really cool.
Awesome.
So leads me nicely onto the recommendations board. So this is something that we've recently come out with. So it assesses the existing setup that you already have and provides recommendations as to what you might want to turn on or try in order to improve performance. So we do have those quarterly advice calls, which are really important to clients because they have the opportunity to speak to someone dedicated to them, someone who knows a bit more about their business and their personal background and aims. But this just kind of fills in the gaps between those 3-month checkups and allows marketers to just come into the back end and easily see quick tweaks and recommendations that they can turn on.
Awesome.
So we also have the customer value snapshot. So this is what I was alluding to before. You can clearly see the different customer groups. So you can see non-members. These are members people just shopping as a guest, so they don't have an account with the site. You can clearly see their metrics as compared to members. And then we split those members into 2 groups. So non-redeeming would be someone who has a customer account but they're not engaging with the program at all. Obviously they're racking up points for purchases, but they're not coming back to spend those rewards on anything. And then you have those redeeming members who are, hopefully the data will show, more engaged with the program. And this is a key piece of data that marketers will want to see when, showing their boss, like, hey, I've invested loads of money into this loyalty program, it actually works. And you can clearly see the uplift in all of these figures here.
I bet it's even how some people get their quarterly bonus.
Yeah, definitely. So something our CEO has said quite a lot that really resonates with me is that we want to make marketers look good. And that's the whole mission statement of the loyalty program, I guess.
Awesome.
So I want to reiterate, you can probably tell from my accent, and I know you've liaised with Fiona before. We are obviously a London-based company, but actually the majority of our clients are US. Last time I checked, it was over 60% of our clients are in North America. So I just wanted to reiterate, we do have a global team, so we support those different time zones as well, which you see here. um, investment and backing from world-leading loyalty and e-commerce pioneers. Yeah, so definitely something that we are constantly doing to improve. We do have that investment, which means that the developers are always working on new features, like the campaigns, for example. And yeah, I've kind of already talked about this in that we like to provide the data and insights that you'll need in order to figure out where you want to be focusing your marketing. And that's where the recommendations board and campaigns comes in. And that concludes the presentation.
I
So
so do want to see the dashboard.
yeah, for
Do you
sure.
have a test store dashboard we could peek at?
Yeah, I can do that for you now.
Just because that's where I spend my time, that's where the marketer spends their time there. I don't know. I guess you've given me enough, but maybe just a little bit more on what those reports look like and what data
Sure,
we're getting in from Shopify, revenue, average order value, lifetime value, that kind of
sure. So you can see the back end here. Um, So this is the insights that you saw before.
yeah.
So it's a customer value snapshot, which I showed you in the slide. Alongside that, we have these metrics, which we pull up and present to you exactly the number of orders from existing customers, AOV, average purchase frequency, and time to second purchase. So in this example, it's interesting. Actually, I have no guests shopping on my site. All of my shoppers are members.
And you have really
And
high average spend. This is a
yeah,
great store. It's one of the most successful stores ever.
exactly. Not too many customers, but a really high AOV, looking good. So I was speaking before about the triggers and actions for Shopify Flow, and this is what I was saying. So when a customer moves from the loyal group to at risk, you could set up that flow to re-engage them.
And we have win back here for the
Yeah,
one. So
exactly.
at win back is they were at risk and we sent them we activated a campaign of some sorts and like we through maybe our Klaviyo or something like
So not exactly. So we have these three groups. They're based on frequency and recency of purchase.
that. Okay.
So we organize customers based on your specific data into these three groups. But it's obviously dynamic and we can track changes. So yeah, when a customer moves between groups, you can set up a trigger.
So you're saying like based on my data, meaning if we assume a loyal customer buys from us every 3 months, is there like a setting on the manage tab that we say set the at-risk time to after 3 months, 3 month or 91 days or something like that?
So we provide the data for you. What I mean by that is we don't have specific time limits that indicates a loyal customer. For example, we work with furniture stores. Their loyal customer and time to second purchase would be very different from Lashify or Esquido.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's based on percentiles. So that's what I mean by that store's exact customer
Cool. So, and
base. Does that
this is
make
all done
sense?
automatically. So we plug in our Shopify data with you, and math is done in the back end, and then
Mhm.
we kind of have those answers.
So yeah, the Insights tab is already built into the backend. You don't have to do anything extra. So once you've installed Loyalty Line, it's literally a 5-minute process to be able to view this backend. It's automatically live, and you can see all of that.
And I see here we can export these users as a CSV. Are we pushing a tag back into Shopify or into our email service provider of where they are?
Yeah, so we push the tag of loyal, at risk, or win back
Perfect.
into ESPs. Yeah.
Yeah, I as a marketer, I need those kinds of things because that's exact. I want to send certain campaigns to certain audiences. Like the
Mm-hmm.
loyal customers, yeah, are more likely to get to refer a friend. At risk shouldn't get it. Win back maybe does get it, right? And at risk instead is more like a discount for you, right, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really helpful to be able to segment on that automatically. That's cool.
Sure. And so, yeah, further points. So the recommendations board, which you saw before here, further analytics. So, if you're ROI focused, you can clearly see the results from loyalty purchases, but also your referrals revenue. So that's just the main dashboard. And then analytics, you can view your results from orders. So it's specifically useful to be able to pick a custom date range picker. We built the custom date range picker specifically for requests around Black Friday. As you can imagine, there's definite strategies that go on around that time. So being able to pinpoint that exact time frame is important. And you can also view your results from referrals. So this is all the tracking that I spoke about before, but just a visual look at that as well.
Awesome. I love it. If you want to click on the integrations manage, because I
Mhm.
do like to list as many of the integrations you have as possible.
Cool. So the fastest way to probably do that is
Yeah,
to
that's
go
right.
to
I
the
was also looking that up right now.
yeah. So these are platform integrations and then apps. So they're literally all listed here.
Oh man, yeah.
It's quite a few.
I Looks is there, Omnisend is there, great. Recharge, very important. Trustpilot.
Mhm,
Yeah, so we've got our review tools. You've got your enterprise tool there, Bronto.
mhm.
Yeah, this is everything I can think I would need this integrated with.
Great. Yeah, so our devs have been smashing out the integrations recently. Luke's is really cool. Omnisend was recent, as well as Emetria. So more of an enterprise as well as Bronto.
Awesome. All right, what would you like? What's the final thing you'd like people to know about Loyalty Line?
I think I covered it already, just the fact that in order to differentiate amongst the space, we aim to provide real actionable insights. So that comes with the campaigns, the recommendations board, all of that. So that you can look to your manager. It's not just a fluffy loyalty program that might look good on your site. We obviously do look good, and the customization is a key element of Loyalty Line, but we actually provide the results and ROI that you would be looking for. I think one of the main objections that I come across is that this looks really cool and this is a nice idea, but how can I get this signed off? Because it's quite a risky investment. And I'm sure you have heard that feedback a lot when it comes to apps. This technology is great, but is it necessary? As compared to an ESP or maybe a review platform, people don't see it as a necessity. But I like to think that we obviously are.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say is what would you say to somebody who doesn't have a loyalty program today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so people are often put off because of the idea of a loyalty program can seem tacky. They think points for all these different actions, it can create a headache for a consumer. My response back to that would be, hey, you should be a bit more creative with your idea of a loyalty program. It could be as stripped back or as fully fleshed out as you can imagine. And like I said before, with those more experiential rewards, if you're looking to create a brand community and send out a specific brand message, you can encourage your customers to donate to charity. There's always cool, innovative things you can do with the program. It doesn't have to be stagnant and stale.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we can kind of agree that if you really are a pass-through business, people only buy from you one time, or there's no brand, or it's super generic, then there's no point in a loyalty program. But that's not really the way that brands are operating and growing today. Very few companies can sustain that kind of business model, I'd say. So.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's the only time it's not for you. But anybody looking to build a large, sustainable, and successful company needs to start with
Mhm.
a loyalty program today.
Yeah, I think especially with the rise of Shopify, you have people, quitting their day jobs to go run their own Shopify store, and to be able to give them the tools to really grow that exponentially and become entrepreneurs in their own right is awesome.
Yeah. And I talk a lot about that when you say exponentially, it changes your growth rate. Like, so if you're growing at 5%, this will increase the actual rate of growth because you're getting referrals from your customers and you're getting your customers to come back more often. So the same
Exactly.
amount of work going in should have a larger output. And so it's those are the kinds of optimizations that all stores should be making.
For sure. So what you're saying is loyalty is the gift that keeps on giving.
Ha ha ha. I think maybe you may have said that
Hey,
before in the
you can
past.
take that tagline. I don't mind.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Appreciate it, Derek. Looking forward to being featured on your site.
Mhm.
Can't wait.